The last large-scale threat when the Soviet Union deployed missiles in the Caribbean was in 1962. At the time, a possible exchange of nuclear strikes between the USA and the USSR was called more than probable. Since then, the Kremlin's methods have not changed. This summer, Moscow plans to create an imaginary threat and has already sent its ships to the Caribbean Sea.
We anticipate that this summer Russia will conduct heightened naval and air activity near the United States. These actions will culminate in a global Russian naval exercise this fall. We should expect more of this activity going forward, although we note these deployments incur a cost on the Russian Navy, which is struggling to maintain readiness and conduct deployments with an aged fleet. Source in the US presidential administration in an interview with Reuters.
The activity of the Russian military has increased due to American support for Ukraine. A White House source told Reuters that he did not see a threat to the United States since Russia had already sent its ships to the Western Hemisphere before. The exercises involving warships and strategic aircraft will be the first simultaneous air and naval maneuvers Russia has conducted in the Caribbean since 2019. NATO also said it saw no signs that the Federation was preparing for a strike.
We don't see any imminent military threat against any NATO ally, and now, of course, Russia is more than preoccupied with the war in Ukraine. They actually moved a lot of forces from the vicinity of on Finland, the Nordic countries, down to Ukraine.
The Russian Ministry of Defense does not comment on information about exercises in the Caribbean. The Minister of the Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces reports that a group of ships of the Russian Navy will arrive at the port of Havana on June the 12th to 17th. The group will include carriers of the Zircon hypersonic missiles, the Admiral Gorshkov frigate and the nuclear submarine Kazan, as well as the Academic Pashin oil tanker and the Nikolai Chikir rescue tug. All of them belong to the Russian Northern Fleet.
Russia can no longer offer any new threats that will force Western leaders to act more carefully in the context of assistance to Ukraine. As of today, Russia has no arguments left in its favor to demonstrate that some crossing of Moscow's red lines once again on the part of Western countries will lead to an increase in the threat from the Russian side.
Cuba is located approximately 150 kilometers from the coast of Florida. Thus, Zircon carriers will appear just a few seconds of flight from the United States for the first time. However, Washington does not see a direct threat in such actions by Moscow.
Russia is likely to send combat naval vessels to the Caribbean, with potential port calls in Cuba and possibly Venezuela. Aircraft deployments or flights in the region are also anticipated. These deployments are part of Russia's routine naval operations and pose no direct threat to the United States. Charlie Dietz, Major, official representative of the Pentagon, in an interview with CNN.
Russia has recently begun tactical exercises using nuclear weapons near Ukraine, but most analysts view this as intimidation. But what we should expect is sabotage by Russian spies in the West. They will try to undermine the infrastructure and increase the cost of supporting Ukraine for Western governments. Russian agents are already suspected in a number of incidents in the UK, Estonia, Germany, Poland and Lithuania. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.